Royal vanish. Just like that the princes of the kingdom of Duchess vanished without trace. Even the most powerful bloodlines can vanish without a trace. Explanation. Follow us till the end of the video and find out. Who is behind it? Why is there no traces? Royal vanishings. Whispers in the halls of power. Dimly lit shot of a long, empty corridor in an ancient palace. Shadows dance on the stone walls. A single flickering candle casts an eerie glow. We hear the echo of distant footsteps. The grandest halls of power often conceal the darkest secrets. Within these walls, where lineage and legacy are paramount, some stories end not with a bang, but with a chilling silence. Tonight, we delve into the haunting mysteries of royal disappearances, figures of immense importance who vanish from the pages of history, leaving behind a void of unanswered questions and whispers that still echo through time. Before we go further, subscribe to our channel and make sure to give up a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. The Princes in the Tower, England, 1483. Transition to a woodcut illustration of the Tower of London. Then, a dramatization. Two young boys in period clothing are seen looking forlornly out of tower window. A shadowy figure lurks in the background. In the tumultuous year of 1483, the young King Edward V and his brother, Richard of Shrewsbury, Duke of York, known collectively as the Princes in the Tower, became central figures in a dynastic struggle for the English throne. Their uncle, Richard III, declared their father's marriage invalid, seizing the crown for himself. The two boys, rightful heirs, were placed within the formidable walls of the Tower of London, ostensibly for their protection before the coronation. But the coronation never came. Empty room in the Tower of London. Close up on a child's wooden toy left on the floor. Weeks turned into months, and the young princes were never seen again in public. Richard III offered no explanation for their absence. Rumors began to circulate, whispers of murder, of a deed so foul it could topple a kingdom. Were they silenced to secure Richard's claim? Did they escape into hiding, their identities forever concealed? Bones discovered centuries later have fueled speculation but offered no definitive answers. The fate of the Princes in the Tower remains one of history's most enduring and chilling enigmas, a stark reminder of the ruthlessness that could lie beneath the veneer of royal power. Dramatic artwork depicting Richard III looking troubled, surrounded by shadows. A slow pan across a dusty royal family tree, highlighting the names of the missing princes. The sound of a raven calling. From the medieval shadows of London, we journey across Europe to another royal disappearance, one that followed in the wake of revolution and empire. Case 2. The Lost Dauphin of France, Louis XVII. France, 1795. Visual. Images of the French Revolution, the storming of the Bastille, the execution of Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette. Transition to a somber illustration of a young boy in prison. The French Revolution consumed everything in its path, including the monarchy. Following the execution of his parents, the young Louis Charles, the Dauphin and rightful heir to the French throne, was imprisoned. Initially kept with his family, he was later separated and placed under the care of a cobbler named Antoine Simon. What transpired within those prison walls remains shrouded in conflicting accounts. Sketch of a gaunt, sickly boy. Official records state that the 10-year-old Louis XVII died of illness in 1795. However, doubts immediately arose. The body was never publicly displayed, and rumors of his escape persisted. Over the years, numerous individuals emerged claiming to be the lost Dauphin, each with their own compelling stories and alleged evidence. Yet, none could definitively prove their identity. Did the young king perish in captivity, or was he spirited away, perhaps to ignite a future royalist resurgence? The mystery of the lost Dauphin continues to fascinate, a poignant symbol of the revolution's devastating impact and the enduring hope for a lost legacy. Portraits of various individuals who claim to be Louis XVII, fading one into another. A map of Europe with France highlighted, then the focus shifts eastward to Russia. the sound of melancholic classical music. The winds of change would once again sweep through the palaces of Europe, leading to another of history's most heartbreaking disappearances. Case 3. Grand Duchess Anastasia of Russia. Russia, 1918. Black and white photographs of the Romanov family, full of life and grandeur. Transition to grainy images of the Russian Revolution and the Bolsheviks. The Russian Revolution of 1917 brought a violent end to the centuries-long reign of the Romanov dynasty. Tsar Nicholas II, his wife Alexandra, and their 5 children were arrested and eventually executed by Bolshevik forces in July 1918. While the deaths of the Tsar, Tsarina, and 3 of their children were eventually confirmed with the discovery of their remains, the fate of the 2 youngest, Grand Duchess Anastasia and Tsarevich Alexei, remained a source of agonizing uncertainty for decades. A single faded photograph of Anastasia. Rumors of their survival, fueled by the lack of conclusive evidence and the emergence of imposters, captured the world's imagination. The most famous claimant was Anna Anderson, who for decades insisted she was Anastasia. Her case became a global sensation, sparking intense legal battles and scientific scrutiny. While DNA evidence eventually debunked Anderson's claim, the lingering possibility that Anastasia somehow escaped the massacre persisted in popular culture, a testament to the human desire for a miracle amidst tragedy. The true fate of the youngest Romanov children remains a somber chapter in the history of royal vanishings, a poignant reminder of the brutal consequences of revolution. Newspaper headlines from the time of Anna Anderson's claims. Then, a modern-day image of the Romanov burial site. The image fades to black, and then reappears with a portrait of Napoleon Bonaparte, transitioning to an image of his young son. The sound of a lone bugle. Not all royal disappearances involve dramatic escapes or violent ends. Sometimes, the disappearance is a slow fading from the historical record, a life unfulfilled. Case 4. Emperor Napoleon II, France/Austria, 1832. Grand paintings of Napoleon Bonaparte during his reign. Then, a portrait of his young son, Napoleon II, also known as the Duke of Reichstadt. The only son of Napoleon Bonaparte and Marie-Louise of Austria, Napoleon II was briefly Emperor of France after his father's first abdication. However, his reign was short-lived. Following Napoleon's final defeat at Waterloo, the young prince was taken to Austria, where he lived under the watchful eye of his maternal grandfather, Emperor Francis I. Stripped of his French titles and raised as an Austrian nobleman, he was known as Franz. Illustration of the Schönbrunn Palace in Vienna, where Napoleon II lived. Though he lived in comfort, Franz was essentially a prisoner of his lineage. He yearned to know his father's legacy and the land he was born to rule, but his Austrian guardians carefully controlled his life, fearing he could become a rallying point for Bonapartist ambitions. He died at the young age of 21 from tuberculosis. While his death is documented, his life in Austria represents a form of disappearance. A prince denied his destiny, his potential extinguished before it could be realized. His story serves as a poignant example of how political forces could effectively erase a royal figure from the stage of history, even without physical disappearance. A melancholic portrait of a young Napoleon II. A montage of other lesser-known royal disappearances, quick glimpses of historical figures, and brief text overlays with their names and dates. The sound of hushed whispers. These are but a few of the royal disappearances that have captivated and perplexed historians for generations. From the obscure fates of medieval nobles to the lost heirs of vast empires, the annals of royalty are filled with individuals who vanished, leaving behind a trail of speculation and intrigue. Conclusion. Return to the dimly lit palace corridor from the opening scene. The candle flickers and almost goes out. The stories of the princes in the tower, the lost Dauphin, the enigmatic Anastasia, and the sidelined Napoleon II serve as stark reminders that even the most privileged lives, those born into the highest echelons of power, were not immune to the shadows of disappearance. Whether through calculated political maneuvering, the chaos of revolution, or the quiet erasure of identity, these royal vanishings continue to haunt our understanding of history. They are chilling testaments to the fragility of power, the enduring allure of mystery, and the unsettling truth that sometimes the most profound stories are the ones that remain forever untold. The candle finally extinguishes, plunging the corridor into darkness. The sound of a door creaking shut in the distance fade to black,